want this when I'm done?
If you don't mind.
No. Are you on probation or something?
No. Do they do that on probation?
I don't really know how crime works. I'm a lowly creative nonfiction graduate student.
Ecology.
Ecology, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you do with the butts? Compost them?
These are just regular pollution. I do have a container in my backpack for compost, though.
I thought they biodegrade.
Convenient rumor for cigarette companies.
Really? My friend literally just told me that.
He probably believes it too, but it's easier that way. Less guilt.
Huh.
Same way people think they can just throw gum on the ground and birds won't choke on it and die.
So, where do you take them?
These, just trash can. But I do have a container in my compost container in my backyard that I use to put compost in. Yeah. Here, a picture. So it's just like this box that I made, and it has an open top.
So the stuff just turns into dirt?
Yeah, I use it as fertilizer, essentially. And when there's too much of it, I bring it out to like big open spaces when I get selected to go on research trips. It's cool.
Like magic.
They'll probably talk about it or something similar to it at the debate here. Are you going to go?
Oh, I hadn't actually decided yet. Here, do you want this guy?
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Yeah, I was probably just gonna go home and take a nap to a true crime podcast. But
do you like podcasts? Have you listened to Radio Tomorrow?
I think so, actually. What was the one I listened to? Did they do an episode on sperm?
They did.
Yeah, I remember. I was turning on the radio and I was looking for a classical station while I was working on a writing project. But then, then this sperm episode came on and what do you know? Bam, an hour gone.
That's the only one you listen to?
Yeah.
They do a lot of really great non-reproductive episodes too. Like, I get selected sometimes and I go on these research trips, and so I have a lot of time to listen to them. I listen to like way too many of them, but they're really good. They talk a lot about environmental topics and stuff. It's cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was considering doing my thesis on something environmental. Yeah, that's what caught my eye originally, not the sperm.
An excuse to have something to write about?
That's sort of where my life is right now at the moment. I was running earlier and I saw all these signs on these trees and they're about like an emerald ash borer, and so I thought maybe I could do something about that.
That's actually a really big problem. Like, the ash borer is killing millions of trees across the country, and they're wondering if they should use insecticide or just cut the trees down and plant new ones.
Oh, it's insecticide. So it's a bug?
Yeah, it's a pest.
Huh. No kidding. Look, it's tangible. Literally saving trees.
There's some fundraisers going on to raise funds to replace trees with something new, one-to-one, that you could potentially try to get involved with.
I'm a little late to the party on this one. Maybe I should find something else. Scratch that. I'm Camille Green, by the way.
Rebecca Durst.
Any idea what happened here?
I was a little off about that guy.
Yeah, well, this will slide, but I'm hoping you're working on something a little more substantive for next semester.
That's exactly what I'm here about.
Not this.
No, we can forget about that. That is a casualty we can't save. I've got something much more expansive and important that I'm going to do.
For your thesis.
Exactly. I'm going to do this big piece on environmentalism. Relevant, poignant, important, making the world's ills personal. This person I met told me about composting, and so I started doing that, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, not the most original idea, but okay. Maybe it could work. What's your angle?
Green on green.
Excuse me?
It's my working title. Like my name, reporting on the world, the environment. Green on green. I know it's a little on the nose, but it's just going to be me talking about the world, taking the world side. I mean, if people my age can't speak out, then who will? I don't know. I want it to be something that matters. Something that can be too personal, but affects people outside of me. It needs to mirror my own personal journey, but with a tangible and intangible representation.
You're not an expert on ecology, though, so what's your experience that led you to this?
I'm in a delicate stage of muse invocation right now. I know I have something, but I don't quite have it all yet. Here's where I need your help. I've been crying while listening to Radio Tomorrow and having epiphanies from there. It's profoundly cliche and not an interesting narrative.
Well put. I agree.
Don't need to soften the blows.
Maybe a university-sponsored research project could take you on as an observer or a volunteer. Volunteer. Go with that. Get out there, get some exposure, we'll regroup and see where you're at. Stop listening to the radio and get some experience. Feel things, okay?
I can do that. I can feel things. Thank you.
Okay. And, Camille, one more thing.
Yeah.
Are you high right now?
Your turn. What's going on?
Oh, well, I'm intending to write my thesis this fall about environmentalism. You know, kind of a call to arms to save the world, you know, from ourselves and, you know, from all the damage we do to it. I've been really interested in the topic ever since I started listening to these Radio Tomorrows and, you know, doing my own research. And, you know, it makes me feel something.
I don't know if I understand.
Do you feel things a lot?
Doesn't everyone feel things?
No, that's not true. It's some people we overanalyze everything, and then we try to put it all into this, make the next big memoir just so we can eat between teaching undergrads about Saussure. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a big washcloth that everything gets dirt onto, and then and I try to make sense of the dirt when I should just be living my life as a washcloth. Sorry, that was a first draft metaphor. I usually keep those to myself.
So you're trying to not think.
I think so. I just need to turn off all these screens and get out there. Get away and come back with an epiphany.
Like a souvenir.
For the soul. Okay, so I mean, the Protestant Reformation, when did that happen? The 16th century?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, so, there's Martin Luther, who decided one day, shit's messed up and all. So then he nailed that list of changes he wanted to see on the church door and changed the beliefs of people forever. Don't you ever want to do that?
I don't know. I guess, I'm all for environmentalism. I just don't really think that you can change people.
That's probably what Luther said too. But then all I needed to do was put it in writing, and then the wheels started spinning. That's all I'm doing. What I need to do is look for the wheels to start spinning for my thesis.
And that will be the next big memoir?
I know, it's kind of shitty, but to be honest, who doesn't want to write the next big memoir? I mean, not to say I want any of your stipend, I'll be doing this pro bono if you'll have me. Maybe we'll only make it so it's an e-download, so there's no tree damage whatsoever.
I'm still not sure I understand what you're trying to do, but I wouldn't mind having some company, so consider yourself on board.
Thank you so much. Oh, this is great. Stars are aligning.
What are you writing?
Three things. First, you said you don't think you can change people. It's kind of a metaphor, isn't it? We're always changing the world around us and, changing species and causing extinctions, but somehow we're not allowed to change? WTF, am I right?
It goes back to, colonization. We never really lost that mentality.
Exactly. God, you're a muse. I hope you talk a lot. Okay, so colonialism. Good. Okay, that's great. Colonialism, and you said you're on board, right? Like a ship. We're sailing.
I have a Kia.
No, it's a subtext thing. Okay, so sailing, whaling, maybe? Oh, I'll go and buy Moby Dick and, what's it called? Darwin, The Voyage of the Beagle.
What's the third thing?
You have an interesting nose. I drew a little picture and started writing some notes about it.
Excellent.
Okay, so, when do we leave? I can buy some hiking sunglasses tomorrow.
Not till next week.
Really? That much time?
Finals, stuff like that. So, how does Friday morning, 8 a.m. sound?
Sure. Perfect. All our comp classes end on Thursday morning, I think. Thanks so much.
Sure. It'll be an interesting weekend. I've never read Moby Dick.
Oh, neither have I. You just need to skim for relevant details and obscure references. Are you kidding? That's like 500 pages long. Hello? Roger? Well, Rebecca, if you get this or are hearing this right now, do you want to let me know at some point where you are? Basically that you're not dead, so, because I don't know how to get out of here if you are. And that would be sad.